Hello, we are Team 15 and we are going to present our ESW project on olfactory sensing. Next slide. The aim of the project is to build an IoT system to sense the LPG gas levels, and in case of a leakage, an email will be sent to the user. Along with sensing, the system also involves a dashboard to show the readings to the user and analyzing the data collected to derive necessary inferences. Next. The proposed solution includes an IoT system that is able to monitor the real-time level of gas in proximity to the gas cylinder and will send an alarm email to the user if a gas level is above the threshold. Also, the data is stored in an 1 M2M server in the encrypted form and it includes a dashboard to show the analyzed data by decrypting it to the user. Next slide. Now we will see the block diagram of our IoT system. The MQ6 sensor will sense the gas readings and then the ESP32 will send the data by encrypting it to the 1M2M server. Now on the dashboard end, there are two node servers. One node server will retrieve data from 1M2M server and decrypt it to show on the dashboard. The other node server will be used to authenticate the user, log in and sign up on the dashboard. Next slide.
Okay, so let's have a quick look at the hardware components that we're going to use in our project. So basically, MQ6 is the main sensor that we have used. ESP32 rover module is the node for our IoT system. We have used batteries that supply the circuit with the power. There are connecting wires. We use a 0.96 inches OLED display to display readings and messages. An RTC is used to keep track of time. And we also use breadboards and resistors in our system. Next slide. So let's know something about the sensor that we've chosen. So MQ line of sensors has become an obvious option for detecting LPG gas leakages. So our choice of MQ6 is based on a few factors, like the sensor is specifically used to detect LPG gas apart from methane, and it is sensitive to a wide range of LPG concentrations and outputs in terms of voltages between 0 and 5 volts. Also, it has long life and costs less damage money-wise. Next slide. Yep. So this is the circuit diagram. Basically, the MQ6 sensor takes in VCC and ground from the module, which is similar for RTC and display. Hence, all of them share the same connections. The analog input pin from MQ6 is connected to pin 34 via a 10 kilo ohm resistor. The display and RTC are both connected to the I2C pins of ESP32 since they act as slaves, and the ESP32 module acts as the master. Next slide. This is the basic flow of code. In the main loop, we read the sensor data first. Then we shall use this data for three different tasks as shown. So firstly, the data is encrypted using an AES ECB 128-bit encryption key, and then coupled with a timestamp and sent to 1M2M server, where this data will be picked up for showing up on the dashboard. This data will be compared to a standard threshold to check if the gas level is within the allowed standards. If it is, then it's cool and it will work normally. But if not, so we'll first of all display the warning on the OLED display, and then there'll also be warning email that will be sent to the concerned person's email ID. And apart from this, all the time we display the readings on OLED display for convenience of the user. Next slide.
Okay, so now talking about our UI, the entry page contains the login and register for the user. The dashboard contains the three sections. One is home, which contains latest 20 readings which gets updated in every 30 seconds. If the value blows up the threshold, then it is marked with a danger sign, else with a safe mark. Also, the data here is represented graphically for better visualization. Next section is alert. The alert page contains all the readings above the threshold. Thirdly, the data page, which contains all the readings. Next slide, please.
So for providing the interoperability to our IoT system, we have used one M2M architecture, which provide a service layer to our system. In our IoT framework, we have used Wi-Fi for connectivity along with the RESTful HTTP protocol in our application layer and use XML and JSON as our data formats. So as you can see, this is the resource tree of our IoT system. It has container named team15, which was assigned to us. Moreover, it has multiple containers representing different nodes of our system and each having multiple instances in them for storing the data in encrypted form. Next. So as we know, the security aspect of the whole system is very important to protect the user data from any attack. So we have added multiple layers of security in it. Firstly, the all user data is encrypted by AES 128-bit encryption with a unique key for each user stored in an enterprise level secured MongoDB data cloud along with their login details. We have also used user authentication in our dashboard, and all the encrypted data comes here from the secured 1M2M server and decrypted to visualize the graph and table. Apart from these, we have used HTTP protocol and block the cross origin request for adding security at the user end too. Next. As it was difficult to calibrate our sensor reading because we do not have any standard reading with us. So all the data we have collected are stored using this function, which was formulated keeping in mind the ESP32 module has 12-bit output resolution. So our output is always to be in the range of 0 to 5000 millivolts. Our system is also robust and can work on battery too. Next. So these are the few screenshots of our dashboard, including the table and the graphs, and the encrypted data from one M2M server comes here and displayed in the form of graphs and table. A user can also download the data from here if he wants. Next.
Now for the analysis part, we have considered 3 different environments in a domestic household. So as you can see, figure 1 shows the reading when our system is kept in outside, and mostly the values which are recorded ranged from 100 to 200 millivolts. And here figure 2 shows the reading when the system is kept in a normal room, and it is mostly ranged between 0 to 100 millivolt. And the last figure shows the reading when the system is kept in the kitchen, and the most of the readings are between 300 to 300 millivolt, 300 to 350 millivolt. And also you can see a jump after 2030. That jump is because when we tried to switch on the stove, we have seen the expected jump in the gas readings. Next slide. We have used MATLAB code to analyze the readings to get mean, median, and mode. And as you can see the table provided here, it contains the mean, median, and mode for all the 3 different cases that we have considered. We have seen that the values are high for in the case of kitchen, which is mostly in proximity of LPG gas. Also, we have observed that during the timing when food is prepared on a gas stove, we have seen the maximum gas levels, which is also justified. Next slide.
Okay, about the users. So our system can be used to sense the presence of LPG gas leakage. The prediction with good accuracy will also prevent from any hazardous explosion to happen. Wastage of LPG would also be minimized with this, and it can be used for a surety check before installing gas cylinder at homes. Next slide, please. Now let's talk about the challenges we faced in course of our project. Connecting to one M2M server was difficult since it is a remote server and we struggled sending current request formats from ESP32 as well as dashboard. After repeated tries, we were able to succeed. Another challenge was that of the Wi-Fi library, whose functions seems to internally occupy a lot of pins of ESP32. And by massive testing, we were able to discover that pin 34 was left unoccupied, and we managed to get over this challenge. The last challenge we faced was encrypting the data in Arduino and decrypting it in the dashboard server for safety. Next slide, please. Okay, now about our project timeline we followed. September month consisted of planning and simulation, where we tested sensor code and created circuit in Tinkercad. In October, we worked on hardware and also integrated all the components of project along with setting up one M2M user dashboard and sending mail to the user through ESP32. In November, we added security layer, we did calibration and finalized the system by testing. Lastly, in December, we analyzed the data and completed the project with documentation. Next slide, please. So this is our individual contribution. And next slide. Okay, so let's head over to the demo.
Okay, so the one on the left is the sensor. This is RTC, and here you can see the OLED screen, which is displaying the readings. And here you can see that we're sending the data to a 1M2M server, and this is the response request format that we're using. So you can see in real time that we're sending the data. And here I am conducting an experiment. I've turned on the gas, and you can see the sensor is near the gas, and we expect, and you can see that the display screen showed a danger message. And now let's see if the email was sent, and you can see that there was an email to sharma.palash021@gmail.com, which happens to be my email. So yeah, this was our demo. Next one, Archit.
So this is the landing page of our olfactory sensing app. The user can sign up using username, email, mobile number, password, and the node ID. The user can log in using the username, the password, and the node ID. After logging in, the user can access the three sections: the home, alert, and data. The home page consists of a graph and a table showing the latest 20 readings. The page will update in every 10 seconds. The second section is alert section. The alert section consists list of all the timestamp where the value goes above the threshold. So since there is no data available for it, so this is empty. Uh, this is a data page where the user can visualize all the readings collected from his node. So this is a table in a tabular format, and he can download the data as well. So this is the raw JSON format where he can download the data. Let's go back to that main page. So all these reading in the data page and the alert page update in every in 30 seconds, and the home page data will update in 10 seconds. Yeah, so that's pretty much. The user can log out after